Good morning, my friends. It is, was it like a little after 4? It's 4:08 in the morning. I'm up at my regularly scheduled time. I usually wake up between 3 and 4:30 to get my day started. And, in the morning, I do a lot of thinking. I wake up, I take a few moments to kind of breathe and situate myself, with the new day starting and all. And yeah, it is the second to last week of October. And I am realizing that, number one, this month has been insanely busy. So I'm trying to sort of, recalibrate things once again. And I didn't even realize until after my most recent relationship ended that I had been putting my own dreams and visions on the back burner, yet again, for someone that I loved. And I've had a habit of doing this over the years. Even back in, high school, my first boyfriend, my first love, relationships that I had back in high school in general. And it's been an ongoing thing. I have fallen in love and allowed it to consume me so much to the point where I stopped working on my own shit. And I don't love that for me. However, what I'm realizing is that it is a truth, it is a pattern, and that's okay, right? I think for so long, I just looked at this as just a weakness, which to some degree, yes, that is a weakness. Losing yourself in a romantic partnership or friendship or anything that you lose, any relationship you're losing yourself in. But the bad thing isn't the relationship itself, it is the self-abandonment that comes as a result of it. And so lately I have been sitting with myself and getting back to what it was that I was doing. Now, I've told the story of back in 23, met my last partner, and this partner was the catalyst that gave me that extra push that I needed to leave my marriage. However, at the time I didn't realize I was going into the relationship abandoning myself. At the time, the partner that I was with had all of the dreams and goals and plans for things that they wanted to do, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And so I put my own dreams and things on pause to some degree to help them make theirs come to life. Now, I know what you're thinking. When you love someone, you help them make things come to life. Yes, that is true. But, and still, that doesn't say you have to put your own things on pause. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was just doing too much. My partner had taken on this big project that they couldn't handle by themselves. They had asked for volunteers. They got mad they didn't get volunteers. And I ended up being the volunteer that did 90% of the work for this project that they were so passionate about. Turns out later on, they didn't even do anything with the project. And I had put my vision of doing my 200 hour on the back burner because I was I wanted to pour into my partner's vision. Child, I wasn't even with this motherfucker 6 months. So I did it, and I was very happy that I did it, right? I was happy that I helped them. I was happy that I supported them, but turns out they didn't really care. That was what I did. Never spoke of it again, didn't really thank me for it, and moved on to their next thing. And everything they moved on to, guess who was right there supporting them? I would miss some of my classes because I wanted to spend time with my partner. And I didn't realize until after the relationship ended that, baby boo, you was putting yourself on the back burner and putting someone else ahead of you when you have your own dreams and goals and plans. Yeah. So needless to say, it wasn't all that fun. But anyways, fast forward to this year, after the relationship ended, back in March, I noticed that I started to get my spark back. I did the 30 Days of Single on Purpose challenge, and huge game changer. Even though I didn't really, the book itself, I feel was beginner self-care. However, it still assisted me in seeing what I needed to see and changing what I needed to change so that I didn't end up in this situation again. And that was the win. And now, what has it been? Almost 6 months? It's been 6 months since the breakup, and since shifting my focus to putting myself first, emotionally, physically, even in my own ambition. I have gone back to putting myself first, and I have everything set up the way that I wanted it set up years ago. And I kept thinking that, I wasn't sure why I was in these relationships. And every relationship I was in was to get me to a point where I could remove the hold that these relationships had on me. Not that I don't want the relationships, not that I don't want love, not that I don't want romance. I am a very romantic person. I love romance. I love everything about it, and I want all of those things, but I want them from someone who wants to give them to me. And where I was fucking up was I was giving more in these relationships, and I was giving more romance and more love and more support and all of the things, and I was not getting it back. I don't even blame the people that I was with, because I taught them how to treat me. Taking some accountability here, I taught them that it was okay to push my goals, my dreams, my wants, my desires out the window and center them, because that's what I did. And then I started centering myself, and I started in a relationship, and me centering myself is essentially what ended the relationship. And initially I was like so upset and so hurt, and I think we all go through that period of feeling like we have failed in a relationship. But then I realized I didn't fail shit. I showed up, I loved them. They told me they loved me. I'm not sure if they did, but I know that I gave what I could give in that relationship, and I am okay with that. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. No way. Were they perfect? No. And I think in the end it just came down to we weren't compatible anymore. And that breakup still hurt. It still sucked. There are still pieces that are still there, but I feel like myself again. I have shifted my focus back into my passions, my dreams, my goals, my desires, my wants. Me. I have started to put myself first again. And I love that for me. I love that this is really the first time in my life, in my adult life, that I've been able to actively choose myself. And I love that. But I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold, or at least I'm a little congested. And yeah, now today, have yet another full day. My days have been so full, but I have no complaints because they are filled with the things that I desire, the things that I'm passionate about, the things that I'm excited about, the things that I want. So there's that. I'll see y'all soon.